played to his potential since he's come to the PDC, but you know, he's one of those players that's been bubbling just under the radar, isn't he? You know, ready to, you know, really do something. And sometimes it just takes that one good performance that gets you on the right ladder upwards.
Yeah, Wilson signed up to the PDC's qualifying school just days after he was knocked out of the Lakeside World Championship last year in 2015. As I said, he made the last 32
first leg, James to throw
the
first.
UK Open earlier. Game on! He lost to Kyle Anderson 9-2. In fact, Anderson beat him in the UK Open in 2015 as well, so he's not had much luck against Kyle Anderson, but strongly fancied here, and with the advantage of throwing
81.
first as well. As I said, Marco Puls, nicknamed the Puls, would you believe, making his European Tour debut
95.
here. Failed in his bid to qualify for last year's tournaments here in Munich and in Sindelfingen, the European Grand Prix there.
$128.
Well, most players switch to the 19s. Jamie Wilson prefers the 18s and picks them off quite beautifully.
85.
Well, that is a perfect dart.
Lost his flight, but the
140.
Unusual shape to the top of Wilson's flights. Normally they're pretty straight across the top.
140. James require
more of a triangle. All to do with how the dart flights through the air.
I overheard Wilson talking to Nathan Aspinall earlier.
60.
And he was talking about one or two problems he had getting here. It involved an early start this morning, so he was concerned maybe that tiredness would play his part, but
James to require 92.
He's in fairly good shape here to win the opening leg, but Puls is in contention too. Do with a treble.
Well, Wilson, you know, as I've said so many times, there's two ways of going. If you're going to go the aggressive treble 20 route, you're not going to get a dart at the bullseye. Certainly Puls's first dart would be at the ball. Oh no, he's gone treble 14.
I think he's hit treble 9 though, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has.
Well, that leaves 55.
Yeah, 55 left. Yeah, double top.
42. James will require 43.
Well, a bit of a let-off here for James Wilson, no doubt about that. Double 16 then for the opening leg.
Game shot, the first leg.
And the first dart
James
was wayward, but the
Wilson,
second dart
leg,
was absolutely
Marco
spot on. So Wilson holds throw in the opening leg for a 1-0 lead.
60.
Yes, that should settle him down a little bit. Let me see the shape of his darts. I don't know whether he cuts them himself or they're ordered like that. I haven't actually seen them that shape before. You can see the top of Puls's flights are pretty level across that. Just a little bit of a rake.
Well, it's been a mixed day so far for the German qualifiers. Fabian Hertz beaten by John Bowles, Thomas Saylor losing to William O'Connor in the evening session. But we have had one German player book his place in round 2, Rene Idams beating Peter Hudson 6-1.
135.
The German players who did come through qualifying, it may be last night that once Max Hopp went out early on and Jihan Artuk went out early on, a lot of them grew in confidence and belief that they could actually secure a place with the two big guns out of the way. It suddenly opened up. Marco Puls making the most of his good fortune as the draw did open up for him. He beat Benjamin Sorger 6-3, Michael Stubbs 6-2.
James
thrashed Mike Langendorf 6-0. Langendorf's a player who has featured on the European circuit before, as has Bernd Royce, and he came through that one in the 11th leg as well. So it was a a more intense examination in the
82.
final round of qualifying. He came
Marco,
through,
you require 161.
and here he is for the first time on the big stage. And it would be special if he took this one out. Misses the treble 17 that would have left the ball.
137.
And Wilson,
James, you
2
require
darts here for a break
47.
of throw.
Well, he went the double 16 route before, so it should be 15. That leaves the double 16.
Game
Double
shot, a
16 it
second
is to
leg.
take a 2-0
James
lead.
Wilson, third leg, James to
Yeah, going back to the
first.
German players, I mean,
Game on.
Max Hopp, you know, we expected he didn't qualify for the UK Open, you know, 6 events to qualify, and he never did that. He didn't qualify last night, and nothing to worry about, just needs to get focused again.
60.
He is one of the crop of very promising European players. We've mentioned Vandenberg already today as well. Max Hopp is certainly in that category as the World Youth Champion. Nathan Aspinall,
100.
the man he beat in the final in Minehead in November. But in continental Europe, there's a cluster of promising young players coming through. Watimena, another one, only 25 or so.
Yeah, and Rodriguez, I mean, he's not here, he's back in England playing in the development tour. I think he made the final or a semi-final, the first one this morning. You know, it's for these youngsters,
60.
the development tour is a great way of earning some money to sponsor yourself to play, you know, the senior side of this game. We're running 4 events this weekend, £10,000 each event in prize money.
140.
Wilson, a man who made his European Tour debut at the German Darts Championship in Hildesheim in February of last year. He beat Kevin McDine in his opening match there before a 6-1 defeat by Vincent van der Voort. He also made the second round in Riesa as well, where he lost to Justin Pipe. He only went down 6-5 in that round, and he had his chances too. His most recent European event was in Mulheim, where he overcame Martin
45.
Schindler in the first round before losing to Adrian Lewis. So he's beaten German opposition recently on this stage, and he's in good shape to do so again here. 32 again.
69.
Well,
no need to panic too much on that. He's got a couple of handfuls of darts when he comes back.
James, you require 32.
Well, the first 2 legs are all on double 16. That's a pretty good guide. If it moves just slightly to the right, it needs to move slightly to the right or pin the bottom of it.
Game shot, the third leg.
Yeah, there we have the camera
James
angle said, you know, just a little bit of a movement to the right, opened up the bed.
Game on.
And made it a lot easier to find that double 16.
yeah, clearly double 16 is a good friend for James Wilson. Jammy dodger, as he's known. Nothing jammy about his performance so far. He's
100.
played very nicely indeed for this 3-0 lead. An average of 90. Hasn't had to be spectacular
60.
against Marco Puls.
No, but you've still got to get over the line.
Yeah.
You know, in the first round, as we say so often, you know, you can be edgy and you can really struggle against anyone.
117.
Well, that's a good visit, bearing in mind one of the darts went on the floor. This is more like it from Marco.
135.
Well, you thought he would get a leg on the board here. It is with throw.
100.
He's going to get 6 darts from 166.
Yeah, he should. These are the sorts of opportunities he should be taking and has to take if he wants to get a leg on the scoreboard. We've not had a whitewash today. Came close with
98.
Dobie and Davis. With lots of 6-1s today.
Yeah, Kevin Painter. Stuart Kellett was one of the performances of the day, I think, so far. Over the 100 average.
100.
55%
Marco,
on his
you
doubles.
require 68.
Yeah, the draw for or the lineup for the second round is
50.
almost complete. It's certainly
Change
taking
require
shape.
124.
Big guns join the party tomorrow. The top 16 seeds, including the world champion Gary Anderson, the world #1 Michael van Gerwen, and European Tour champions last year Michael Smith, Robert
40.
Thornton, Kim Huybrechts, all
Marco,
with us
you
this weekend.
require 18.
So Puls to get on the scoreboard. Well, he split that. That leaves double 4.
10 score.
And James Wilson
Change require 84.
may well steal this from under the nose of Marco Puls.
Yes, he had a great chance to win this leg, Puls, and just could have blown it. Oh, the double 12 now. That's a perfect first dart for... Oh, that's a great guide. Kiss it off the barrel. It's in the double. And he's not. He's put it beside
60.
it. So another
Marco,
chance
you require
for
8.
Marco Puls to get this first leg on the board. And the field is just getting a little bit edgy. Oh,
Game
the
shot
third
and the
dart
full
comes to
flag.
his aid.
Marco Puls. 5th leg, James the throw first.
Nothing to
Game
panic
on.
about, as it was with the throw, so
Yeah.
it hasn't hurt Wilson.
1 from 7 on the doubles for Puls.
100.
So the whitewash has been avoided here. Question is, can he build on that? Well, maybe he can with an opening 140.
$57. $60.
Well, there was a chance there to grab the throw a little bit.
And he hasn't taken it.
No, I mean a 140 gives Wilson, well, 180 certainly gives him control, but a 140
140.
gives him the throw back.
$45.
Yeah, no troubles there either for Puls.
$60.
Puls not really setting German Pulses racing at the moment with his plate. Wilson with the incentive of establishing a 4-1 lead.
James require
Within his grasp it.
144.
Well, again, he's got 6 darts from here. Perhaps he might look at the 18s now.
58.
Shake of the head from Puls.
60. James require 86.
Double 16 again. He loves it, doesn't he?
54.
Well, you suspect he may
Marco,
be
you
back,
require 136.
Well, you would think so.
given the way Puls has been finishing.
Yes.
And indeed throwing of late. He's struggling for the trebles. Not quite sure where that one's gone. He's hit the 5 anyway.
81. James require 32.
That was a strange one. Well, two treble 16 leaves double top, doesn't it?
Game shot in the 5th leg.
32
James Wilson,
For
6th leg, Marco
the third
throw
time.
first. Game on.
gives James Wilson a 4-1 lead.
Yeah, the 4 legs he's won have been sealed with a double 16.
Yeah, the 2 treble 16s on
47.
136 is not a route that I've seen very often.
Yeah, slightly unorthodox.
However, I mean, you know, if you are going to have 2 darts at the same treble to leave your favourite double, then it isn't as bad a route as it sounds. However, what I always say is, you know, if I give you 1 dart, what treble will you aim at? And it will be the treble 20 because you practice on it the most. So that's my argument.
81.
These two men both 44 years old. We talk about the youth, but there's
57.
plenty of life in the old guard as well.
$47.
Let's not forget Michael van Gerwen's only 26 as well.
He is.
I mean, that's frightening. When you think about how many years he could have had left in him.
And you know what, Robert? It was only 5 years ago when he really couldn't win anything. You know, and getting upset that he couldn't win things, you know, consistently. I mean, he was always a great player. We see that from very early on when I first see him in Holland when he was like 14, 15 years old. But certainly the last, 3 years, we've certainly stepped it up. And then, you know, the last 2 months after the World Championships, all of a sudden he's found this extra turbo.
Yeah, he's approaching darting immortality for me, and many will say, okay, he might never win 16 world titles, but for many he will go down as the greatest
80.
player. It's a very different era for Van Gerwen compared to Taylor, say, in the early 90s. It's a much more...
Well, I think the
darts is in much ruder health than it was in the mid-90s, say, for example.
Yeah, the 90s...
35.
No disrespect to
Phil dominated the World Championship, but nothing else.
146.
In 2000, he dominated the World Championship and everything else.
84.
But Michael van Gerwen, certainly last year, dominated apart from the World Championship, didn't he? And he started off this year in the same vein as well.
75.
He's having a bit of trouble with his darts. They're not going into that board too well. I don't know whether the points are not roughed up enough.
Yeah, the flights are coming off as well.
Game shot in the sixth leg.
Marco Puls with a check out of 62.
Seventh leg, James throw first. Game on.
Gives the crowd something to cheer. Maybe giving James Wilson something to think about as well, but it was on the Puls throw.
Sometimes if you're using a brand new dart and the points are smooth, it doesn't help the dart the points staying in the board because it's so smooth and shiny. It can tend to fall out at times. That's why you'll see most points now have a knurl on them, a groove,
92
to get that extra bit of grip.
Yeah, that 20 nearly. Well, it was precariously placed. Wasn't firmly in.
61.
Stephen Bunting and Steve Beaton waiting in the wings. That's your next match of the evening session, followed by the final match of the night, Devon Peterson against Nathan Aspinall.
137.
Yes, and Devon's mate, Joey Cullen, already had a good win this evening, 6-1.
Yeah, against Side Fight.
Yeah.
40. James require 132.
Well, he could just do with a big finish here, Wilson, just to give him, you know, a shot in the arm.
The tunnel do him though. That's exactly what he's done. That's all he needed to do. He didn't need to go he didn't need to go the bullseye route.
Yeah, no need to be flash.
And 3 out of the 4 legs he's finished on that double 16.
135. James required 32.
Well, Puls seemed almost surprised that he'd hit 2 treble 20s there. Anyway,
game shot in the seventh leg.
Again, once
James
more,
Wilson,
double 16.
8th leg, Marco to throw first.
Wraps up the leg.
Game on.
I'm interested to know if James Wilson can hit other doubles. I'm sure he can.
Let's hit one other. But once you get confident on a double, you'll do anything to leave that double. You get the Lewises, the Andersons, they're double top. James Wade loves double top, especially double 10.
Silovic with the 14s.
And they will go extraordinary different ways to leave those doubles. I mean, 61, James Wade will go treble 7.
100.
Yeah, the flight is out again.
You have to super glue mine in. When your hands are shaking, when you're nervous, it's a job to put that flight back in.
83.
Well, it looks like James Wilson is on the verge of wrapping this game up.
Silovic awaits the winner tomorrow.
No, I don't understand him staying there.
40.
You know, he blocked that treble 20. All he needed to do was put points on the board, not worry about leaving a check out with his opponent so far away.
I thought he was going to throw that then.
38.
Talked about wasted darts earlier, and I thought Puls was going to throw a blind one. Steady progression towards the finish line here from James Wilson. Nothing spectacular. Getting the job done. Room for improvement, you feel,
40.
against Sulovic tomorrow. Should he get
James
there?
require 121.
And he should get there. He's got 6 starts here from 1-2-1 for a place in round 2.
Well, will he go the bullseye route? I don't think so. Treble 15 should be the route. Or 25. So on the treble 15.
So he's got 46 remaining.
10 or a 6, or go for the 14. He likes the 32.
Oh, well, he's knocked him back.
60.
Well, he's hit the flight there as he's gone in. I mean, I don't understand what he was doing. He wanted 46.
And the
He
15.
loves the double 16. So why is he going 10 or 6?
96.
I
James
I was
requires
convinced he was going to go
61.
14,
Yeah.
double 16 there, but hey, let's see if he can do it again. He's hit the treble 10 there, so that leaves 31. That's awkward. He can't get double 16 this time.
Well, he's got to go 15. He must. Yeah. Yes, 15. 15 you need, James, and be careful of that flight. 'Cause
I
you
know, I
don't
was
knock
gonna
those
say.
two out.
That looks precarious as well. Double 10 then for the match.
41. Marco, you require 100.
And all
It's
of that
like-
means that Puls has got a chance here.
He has, and you find that strange that Wilson's gone that side of the board.
Oh, he's hit the treble 10. It doesn't matter though. Double 6 instead.
Game shot on the 8th leg. Marco Puls.
Oh, by hook or by
9th
crook.
leg, James throw first.
From nowhere,
Game on.
Puls has got another leg on the board.
He hasn't. I don't understand it. I mean, 4 out of the 5 legs James Wilson has won on that double 16. Obviously, he loves it, and he gets a chance to finish it, and then opts against it.
79.
Well, Puls looks surprised. I think even Russ Bray looks a bit surprised by that finish there.
59.
And there was a bit of a hush in the auditorium as well, but Puls, well, 5-3. And who knows, a break here.
100.
Well, it will certainly put the pressure on Wilson.
Wilson's just lost his way. He keeps on putting points on the floor, and Puls here might put points on the 180s. And he has to. What a time to come up with the first 180 of the match.
Well, just as James's darts are going on the board, they're flicking up a little bit.
100.
Now then, another ton plus here from Marco, and who knows?
98.
Well, okay, he's down to 164. It's a tall order, but if Wilson fluffs his lines here, Puls will have reason to believe.
92. Marco, you require 161.
Well, 130 is not a bad check out. And nor is 164. Treble 20, that leaves the bullseye for Puls.
119. James require 130.
Well, Puls is still the favourite here. Astonishing that Wilson finds himself in this position. Bullseye to get himself out of jail. Oh,
Game shot.
what a check out from James Wilson.
Wilson.
Just when it looked as though he was rocking and reeling somewhat under a little bit of a fight back from Marco Puls, James Wilson pulls out a check out of 130 to get the job done. Far from convincing in the end, and Wilson perhaps asked 1 or 2 questions by Marco Puls, but in the final reckoning it's the 44-year-old from Huddersfield who books his place in the second round, and he milks the applause of the crowd
Wir bedanken uns bei
He will
Marco
have to find
Puls.
room for improvement tomorrow against Mensur Suljovic, but job done now for James Wilson, the jammy dodger.
Und gratulieren
He's
herzlich
through
zum Sieg
to
und zum Einzug in
The
die
next
zweite
round
Runde.
of the
James
German Masters.
Wilson.
We'll hear from Wilson very shortly. A reminder that on the way we've got Stephen Bunting and Steve Beaton.